You are listening and watching to a very special podcast. Alright, my darlings. Alright, after so much time doing this, on that note, we got another world that awaits for Briar and the others. Let us proceed. Shall we? Let's. Called in for another mission. Briar Devlin is on her way to a new world full of expectations and a new world full of swords and other great necessities, monsters to fight. Once she learned about this world, it was known to be a world with swords and weapons and the influences of the spirits known as tegus. It was pretty strange, but Briar found intrigued with this. Briar decided to go a little closer. This seems interesting. However, she watched from afar as the infestations were attacking something known as Night Raid. Briar decided to help out in any way. That's when she came across this boy named Tatsumi. He seemed to be a regular teenage boy, pretty cute, but wields a sword in hand. However, he was pretty brave, pretty reckless, but he will do very nicely. It wasn't until Briar managed to use her powers to manage to save Night Raid, as well as her other friends. Briar said, "Hi, my name's Briar. You're safe now," she said. However, word about Briar and her friends' arrival managed to alert some people known as the Revolutionary Army. They brought Briar and the others in for questioning, and they proceed. Once then, Briar managed to realize how much has changed and how they must be on their guard. Briar looked out to see someone was staring in. Someone that was watching from afar as she was speaking to these people. It was a dark-haired girl. She had a sleeveless dark attire, but also at the same time she had a solemn look on her face. Briar managed to look away, wondering who that girl was, but she had to remain focused at all times. Later, Briar was just looking around at something of pictures. Tatsumi was watching her, curious. "Ahem, you're staring again, you know," Briar said with a smile. Tatsumi looked away, blushing. I'm sorry." "So, you took down those monsters. We never really seen monsters like those. You seem to know them." Briar nodded. "Yeah, I pretty much do," she said. "So, what do you think of them? How do you know these monsters?" "Just wondering," Tatsumi said. "Next question, please," she said. "What? But that's the easiest one," he protested. "Next question," I said. He rolled his eyes. He saw there was an apple on there. He took it and bit into it, chewing it. While he was eating the apple, he said through the bits of it, saying, "Just so you know, I was just kind of curious. It was pretty cool the way you took them down, but you know, you could at least tell me." Why, that's my little secret, my friend. Briar also took an apple from the basket that was in. She managed to toss it up in the air. She took a bite, chewed it, swallowed, tossed it up, and did the same thing, repeating after repeat and repeat. By the time she was done tossing it, there was only just a single apple core. Tatsumi was stunned. Whoa, I never knew. That was pretty fast. Yeah, it sure was. So, I've been hearing there's a lot of deaths going around here. Tatsumi bowed his head. Yeah, a few friends of mine died. I was nearly executed. But, strange. I'm sorry, I guess maybe we're getting off at the wrong track of things, huh? No, I've seen tragedy before, Briar said, hitting the core at his head. Tatsumi was saying, oh. He flinched a bit, rubbed his head, and felt nothing. He looked over at Briar, who leaned forward towards him. Again, he was flustered. Briar said, you're just nothing more than a sad boy. Well, you're not really sad, but you're just a boy that just needs to have a little more understanding about the world. Well, I've seen death before. Have you? Briar crossed her arms, crossed her legs, and she said, why, yes, I have. I've seen death many times. I know how you feel about this. Then he pulled out his weapon and said, really? What can you tell by this? He asked. Simple. That weapon is known as Incursio, right? Tatsumi reacted. How did you know? I did it with my powers, silly, Briar said. Right. Powers. That's original. He just looked away a bit embarrassed. All of a sudden, the apple that was in his hand was floating up and hitting his cheek. He swatted down, not knowing, but he was just a little too shy. Briar giggled. She did it again. This time, Tatsumi tried to swat it down, but then he noticed it was floating. Oh, man! Whoa. The apple, it's... Wait, are you doing that? Yeah, Briar said. Tatsumi looked at the apple floating. He then put his hand under it, seeing if there was anything that caused it to float. He looked around for a string hanging. Briar just giggled. Well, see? I can do a lot of things with my powers. Watch this. Briar then snapped her fingers, and immediately the blinds to the windows opened. Tatsumi was surprised. The sky lightened up a bit, since it was daytime, and Briar and the others arrived during the break of dawn. Then she opened the door without even touching it physically, but using her powers. Tatsumi was amazed. Briar said, any enemies that you encountered, they're gonna have to deal with me. No more Miss Nice Girl, right? She said. It wasn't until they came across the Jaegers. They were known as a corporation. Briar couldn't help but smile, thinking of Jaeger. She whispered into her ear communicator, saying, hey, Aaron, I heard they got a name after ya. They're called the Jaegers, huh? That's when Nai couldn't help but laugh. That's pretty funny. Yeah, who knew you could be so popular, Aaron? Ichigo said with a sly smile. Oh, shut up. I'm not really all that popular. What? Of course you are. You're passionate, you're hot-blooded. There could be nobody else like you. I wouldn't really say that, he said. Oh, come on, stop it. You're being too modest. No, I don't think there would be anyone else like me. I'm me. A monster, and I just want to get my revenge. Not just on the Titans. That doesn't concern me. Those that are responsible need to pay for what they did. Briar nodded. I see. You will eventually, Aaron. I know you will. Until then, you're being too hard on yourself. What do you expect me to say? He said. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just never really think of myself special. I'm just a warrior, but I don't know. Well, this is a different world, Aaron. I doubt they would even know your name. Just stay strong, okay? Briar said. However, coming across the Jaegers, they managed to come across one of them by the name of S-Death, which Tatsumi pretty much loathes. However, S-Death had a bit of a romantic feel for Tatsumi, although they are enemies, but still. However, Briar said, you know, I've been high and dry in these kinds of places. I feel quite rusty, if you know what I mean. I suppose you'll be up to the challenge? Briar said. S-Death said, you disappoint me now, do you? You seem even more interesting, don't you? Briar said, why bother the wait? Why not settle this now? However, they heard an inhuman growl. Briar looked over. Shit. It's that monster again. Sure enough, it was that tall, white figure. The one with the claw hands, and it came out. The Jaegers immediately went towards the monster. However, the monster reacted back. The enemies were terrified to see how strong it was. It could have wiped out the rest of the Jaegers, but it didn't. The Jaegers managed to escape as well as S-Death. Tatsumi was frightened. The monster managed to take notice of Briar. He suddenly lost interest and chased after Briar and Tatsumi. Luckily, the girl, known as Akame, came to the rescue and managed to try and fight the monster. But after trying to slice off its limbs, nothing. Briar was horrified. You know, I don't think that's gonna do, she said. Akame was surprised. She looked over at Chloe and said, it doesn't even infect them? Well, no, not really. Sorry, Chloe said. Akame was gonna try again. Briar tried to go over and stop her. However, Tatsumi stopped her and said, it's okay, she's got this. I know she does. Briar was surprised. You seem to know her quite well. Well, we are pretty close. Briar couldn't help but smile. That's sweet. Alright, we're gonna continue more later. I'm Catherine Donovan. See ya.